Hello there, one and all. Welcome to Slapendipity Hobos of Happy Slappy Town. I am Eric, who you may call Eric, and with me is Gibby, who you may call Devon. Say hi to the fine people.
Hi everyone. Avatar's great and it's really good, but Eric hasn't seen it yet, so we can't talk about it, but I loved it.
Sorry. I know there's an alien that Devon thinks is really, really cute, and
Well, hold on.
he wants her to, like, breathe fire, quote
Hold on,
unquote,
hold on,
on
hold
him.
on. We can't have that be people's impressions of my enjoyment of the movie. That was
Why not?
not
Is it
that
not
that
accurate?
conversation didn't happen until 3 days after I saw the movie. That was not my first response.
Okay, what was your first response to the movie?
I can't discuss it without spoilers, but I really liked it.
Oh, how many? Was it better than Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie?
Yes.
Okay, by like a lot or by like a little? Like how
Five Nights at Freddy's 2
close?
was awful. Yeah, no,
So a
uncomparable.
lot.
Yes.
Okay, well that's good. I never know what to do with your opinions about movies because I find them like a coin flip. It's really 50-50 as to if your opinions line up with mine after like seeing a movie or something. Um,
Have you watched Grave of the Fireflies yet? Because I told you to a couple months ago.
anyway, so when I
Didn't
watched
think
the
so.
first Avatar movie, I was like, wow, this is Pocahontas, but not really. And then no movies came out ever again until the second one with the water in like 2023?
Two.
Two? And then, it didn't, I didn't watch it, and it didn't look interesting. And then I heard it was garbage. And then I saw the trailers for this fire one, and it didn't look interesting. And now you're saying it was really good.
Yeah,
And you also said you didn't like the water one.
the first and second one are about the same for me. The first one may be a little better just because it's a tighter story. I might have to watch the second and third ones back to back to now see what they're trying to do all together.
Mm,
But
they're
yeah,
trying to unite the nations.
no. As someone who didn't love the second one, I definitely love the third one.
Interesting. So, was your second impression of the woman,
I don't
the
care. I don't
nice
care
alien
about the. I don't
lady?
care about the alien lady woman. I do really like the characters. I've now seen Avatar twice. I've seen the movie twice in theaters. I'm definitely
Wow.
going to go at least one more time.
Whoa.
But it's been pretty good. I said we weren't going to talk about this because you haven't seen it, and I know that you have things you do want to talk about. So
Well,
let's get that going.
speaking of alien lady monster things, do you ever feel like a monster?
Uh, no.
Okay, so it's winter time because the solstice just happened, basically. And I have three cats, and they usually sleep wherever, but now that it's winter, we all must sleep together for warmth. And it's fine. There's usually one cat by my feet, and then one cat on the left side of my head, and then another cat on the right side of my head, and I just make it work. But some nights I'm just a little restless, or it gets a little hot, or I'm just not sleepy. Something happens to me, and I just can't go to bed and sleep, but I'm in bed already, and then I like struggle or like flip with the blankets. And the cats are just like, well, this is bullshit, and they leave. Rightfully so, because they're trying to get their sleep in. And then I'm just like, oh, what have I done? I made you run away. But I wasn't trying to, I just. So, that's why sometimes I feel a monster when I accidentally force my cats out of my room. And then some nights I'm just
Oh.
like, listen, I know tonight's not going to be a good night. No cats allowed tonight. And then they scratch at the door, and I'm just like, it's for your own good.
Okay.
You've never had that?
No, no.
Do you let any of your animals sleep with you? Ever?
I would, but they don't.
Oh. What are you, a monster?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Is that all you had, Eric? Is that all you had for this entire episode?
What? No, why would you say such a thing?
Okay, what else? What else you got? I've yes-anded quite a few things in this series, but
Well, I really thought that was something there. I really thought we could have an engaging conversation
the way
about...
that you sleep with cats and the way that I want to sleep with a specific cat lady are completely different, and I cannot relate to yours. Mine is blue, and is the leader of an entire tribe, and can tell magic with her. She has a cool tattoo on her hand, and she gives you a drug, and she cuts you, and she takes you as a slave. Like that's very different than what you're talking about. So I can't yes and you at the moment.
I mean, okay. I get... okay. Right. Are they cat people? I thought they were just...
In Avatar, yeah, they're cat people. You see their ears, and they hiss. They're cat people.
Yeah, I guess they do hiss. Okay. You ever work a job and then leave your job, and then it's been multiple years since you worked that job, and then you get text messages from that job being like, hey, you need to work the 30th at this location, or whatever, and you're like, what? I don't work there anymore, I'm pretty sure. And then you, like, make sure that you're not in a stupor, that your last few years of your life wasn't a lie. And then you get confirmation, and then you're like, oh, they must have another person named my name. And they never deleted my phone number, so they're just messaging me instead of the person they're supposed to be messaging. And my phone has been getting blown up all day of just like, hey, you gotta do this, and that. And I'm like, I don't work here. Happy holidays. Goodbye. And then I'll get another text message of just like, hey, so you need to come in. And I'm just like, I'm not your guy anymore. Get your fangs out of me, you bloodsuckers.
That is quite the funny predicament.
I'm now resorting to just blocking any texts and calls I get, because I don't know how many times I need to send, hey, this isn't your Eric, but goodbye. And this is not the first year this has happened either. This has happened like 2 or 3 years in a row, around the same time frame, and I'm just like, what are they just trying to like plant seeds in my head that like, you want to go back? I don't want to go back.
Is it the same job?
Yes, it's the same job.
Okay, that's funny.
I don't know why my previous old boss just like never deleted my number.
They just can't get over you.
They can't, and and that's flattering and hurtful, okay? Because other people have gotten over me, and that's good for them. Why can't my job get over me?
Well, I think what you should do is just block them. Back when I was in a club in college, it was my responsibility to send out the email reminders, and we had an email list. And so I'd send things out and then get like a dozen responses back of people being like, I graduated, stop emailing me. And I'd manually take them off the list. And then the next week I'd send out a message and I'd get a dozen emails back saying, I graduated, stop messaging me. And I'm like, okay, I will. But also, like, you could just block me. It seems like it'd be a little easier for everyone involved.
Yeah, but like, that's true. But I guess I should delete. But see, here's the thing. They keep messaging me. If I delete the contact, then I'm not going to know who it is. And I'm just going to get added into another group chat. If I keep the contact, I guess you don't get added to the group chat if they're blocked. Do you?
I have no idea.
If you block one person, but they're added to like a 10-person group chat, do you join that group chat?
I don't know. I'm not a smart man.
Oh. Are you an artistic man?
Um, when it comes to, like, things that aren't drawing.
Oh. Like figuring out if the composition of the shot of a cat alien lady is good or not?
Yeah, do not ask me. I'll just tell you that it looks good, not how to do it.
Oh. So, like, if there was a shot of a lady breaking into a church, rifling through it, and looking for something, tearing it apart, and the lighting was all cool, and the stained glass made everything look red, would you say that was a cool shot?
Yes, I would say that the flashback shot in the movie Wake Up Dead Man is pretty cool.
Whoa. See, though, that's a movie we've both seen, and you don't want to talk about it. You're just so hung up on your cat alien that you don't care.
You're the one who keeps bringing her up. I said this is a good movie. I said we can move on. You have topics to talk about. Let's talk about your topics.
Well, okay, great. How do you feel about the Knives Out third movie, Wake Up Dead Man? I thought it was pretty okay.
I think it was the third best Knives Out movie.
Damn.
I think it cheated. I think toward the second half, maybe like 3/4 of the way through the movie, it was giving us false information and it was cheating. And so I think that you can't solve it, unlike the other ones, in my opinion. So that for me makes it the least good.
Interesting. Yeah. Did you ever read the Agatha Christie novel And Then There Were None?
No, that is not one I've read.
Okay. Do you care about
it? I guess not.
I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but I think it similarly cheats, but doesn't cheat. I don't know. It's weird.
You've read an Agatha Christie novel?
Yeah. I have class.
When?
I have
really?
Taste, refinement, elegance.
I've talked about it before.
Yeah. What am I going to do? I'm going to bring up Agatha Christie every time she's talked about?
Yes.
No.
If I say, hey, I read a book, and your response should be, oh, I read a book by the same author, that's called having a normal conversation.
No. If you go, hey, I read a book, and I went, what's the book about? Who's it by? Did you like it? That's a normal conversation. And then you're like, okay, well, it has an alien cat in it. Anyway, spoilers for And Then There Were None. The killer is... the killer kills themselves, and then just the other victims of it just kill each other because they don't know that the killer is dead. And I was just like, right, it's like 10 people, there's a poem, there's a whole thing going on, and the killer kills everyone one by one. And then it gets down to like the last 3 or 4 people, I think. And the killer is like, okay, I'm just gonna kill myself so it makes sense for the poem. And I'm just gonna trust that everyone else kills themselves in the way that this poem reads. And that they won't stop and think and, like, converse with each other or, like, go on separate ends of the island or literally any variables at all. And the killer was right. Like, they did kill each other, so, like, I guess it worked out. But I was like, how... You're like the 4th, 5th, whoever person to die. How am I going to anticipate that the killer is died in the middle of the... book? That feels weird to me. That feels almost as cheaty as what you said with the false information. Because it's not quite false information, because you just have to deduce it. But, like, I feel like you'd have to be genius-level big brain to be like, oh, obviously the person's already dead is the person doing the killing. Except not really. He just, like... Yeah, and then it sparks a whole thing, because he only killed the first 5 people, let's say. The other 4 people killed each other, so, like... Did the killer kill 10 people? Yeah, yes and no. He set it up, though.
I can see why that would be frustrating. It's kind of like with the Scream movies, where you're trying to figure out who it is. And let's say the first one, because we've spoiled the first one on the show already. So in the first Scream movie, it shows someone and it shows the killer in the same shot. And you're like, oh, that means that he can't be the killer. Well, no, it's because there's 2 killers, and so he was the killer. He was just one of them. It's a big old trick.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the twist of the movie, right? Is that there were 2 killers all along. And that feels different than just being, like, presenting you with false information or, like, a letter as the last chapter of a book of the killer being like, and I'm confessing to everything and how I did it.
That's fine. I don't mind that.
I don't know. I want to try to solve the mystery as I'm engaging in a mystery media thingy. And I don't know, that doesn't really feel solvable. If it's like, well, actually,
and Sherlock Holmes just telling you the answer does?
Well, no, but, like, I either figure it out or I don't, and then I either feel really dumb or really smart when he explains it.
I've never read a book or watched a movie where the mystery isn't explained at the end and you have to go home and watch a YouTube video to figure it out. The detective always tells you what happened.
The detective always tells you, but you've never engaged in a mystery media and also figured it out before it gets to that point where they...
Yeah, of course I have.
Right. So then it gets to when Sherlock explains it, and you're like, that's right. The gravy did hide the key. And you're like, aha, I knew it.
Oh, but how is it... I'm confused by your complaint.
What? Yeah, I don't think there... And it's been a long time since I've read this book. Maybe Agatha Christie fans will come out of the woodworks to make me choke on some bees or something. But, like, I don't remember there being enough hints to, like, point out who the killer was. So, the book ends with everyone dying. And you're just like... Okay, I guess this was explained in the poem and, like, this was the thing, so it makes sense, but, like, who was the killer? How did it happen? And then there's the epilogue of just, like, yeah, I just killed myself and banked on the fact that I talked about the poem enough that everyone would kill themselves in the same way as the poem. And it's like, well, that's not satisfying. What does that give me? Nothing. It's a good book, though.
When did you read it?
I don't know, like high school?
Interesting.
College, maybe?
Interesting.
I read. Sometimes.
Well, yeah, you read, like, mangoes or whatever, but reading classic
Devon,
literature...
Eat mangoes.
Isn't really up your style. Up your aisle. In your eyeballs.
I read the abridged version of The Green Knight and the abridged version of Sleeping Beauty, Call of the Wild, all that.
Why are you reading abridged versions?
That's what I was given as a child.
Acceptable answer, I guess.
Well, you're gonna give a child the entirety of Call of the Wild? Get out of here.
I don't know. What's your I don't know. What's your thought on pancakes?
Okay, Devon. Pancakes are good, right? They are nice little treats, and it's very easy to get a decent one. I feel like getting the perfect pancake is kind of hard, just because I don't know if it's the way I cook them, if it's something about I don't know, but like the perfect pancake is kind of like Moby Dick to me. It's just an invasive whale, and sometimes I catch a glimpse of him, aka I get one perfect pancake out of 3, and the other 2 are like okay, or good, or decent, but they're not perfect, you know? But then, there are waffles. And waffles, you just put that batter into a waffle iron and you just let it do its magic. Now, I think the highs aren't as high with waffles, but the lows aren't as lows.
We're going to have a problem.
Waffles, I think, are a more average and consistent bake that you get out of them. But the factors, the variables in a pancake are so numerous that the lows are lower and the highs are higher. However, the waffles also have the benefit of the pattern they get. So you can put little syrup into the little square holes.
Wrong, painful. The fact
and
that
then you can spread it around.
Gross and disgusting.
You don't like waffles?
The stupid little, like you were just saying, the waffle traps. Do you know how hard it is to spread butter over a waffle, especially at like a restaurant?
Why would you need butter?
When the butter
Why would you need butter?
You need butter on your waffles and pancakes.
No, you don't. It's a lie.
0 out of 10.
No. You don't need butter on them. It's
wrong.
Already a carbolicious treat, and you're lathering it in syrup. To add butter to that is unnecessary, overindulgence, extreme, uncalled for, even.
Uncalled for is a great way to explain eating a waffle without butter. You got butter, you eat the waffle with the butter.
You ever running late to like school or something in high school or whatever? I don't know when else this would have happened. I guess it could happen to work or something, but you work from home. But like, you're running late. Oh no. But you were making pancakes, so you gotta finish making the pancakes, or maybe you made them the night before. It doesn't matter. You have pancakes, you're late. You put a little bit of syrup on the pancake, and then you fold it like a taco shell, and then you just kind of munch on it as you're running out the door.
I have never experienced anything even remotely like that.
Because you gotta fold it like a taco shell, otherwise the syrup will spill out.
If I'm that late, I just don't have breakfast. In what world do you have access to pancakes, but you're also that late to school, or whatever?
I don't know, but it's happened. It didn't happen often, but it did happen. Yeah, I don't know. You're just making some pancakes. And then French toast, I feel like, is the unloved middle child of the 3.
Correct. It's like a distant third place, if even, it's placing.
It's so unfair, because pancakes and waffles are the same thing, just cooked in a different way. And French toast is just lumped in together with those two, but it's wildly different. It's a slice of bread battered in whatever bologna, not actual bologna, and then is like grilled in a skillet or something, like a pancake. And that's the only similarity it shares to the rest of them. But it's so different. I feel like I could have a pancake or a waffle almost interchangeably, but if I want a French toast, I have to be in the mood for it, you know?
I understand to a degree. I guess I would never be in the mood for French toast. If it's offered, I don't dislike it, but I would never eat it like on purpose.
Wow, that's crazy. What?
I can never think of a situation in which I'm like, you know what I'm going to do right now? Crack some eggs, make a little egg wash, get some like garbage white bread, put it in the egg wash, fry it up, put some get out the cinnamon. Like, no. God, no.
Huh. That's crazy. But How do you eat it?
Oh,
Like,
if like
or
I'm somewhere and they're like, "Hey guys, there's French toast," I'll go, "Okay, that's fine." But I
so
don't.
you've had
I
it
would never
like
choose to eat it.
you've had it like a dozen times in your life, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, probably.
That's insane. Wild. I
Whereas
don't know.
I used to own a waffle iron. So if
Sure.
I wanted waffles, I just make waffles. I know how to make pancakes, so I want pancakes, just make pancakes.
Well, if you want waffles or pancakes, you just make pancake mix, and then you either put it in the waffle iron for waffles or put it in a skillet or pan or whatever for pancakes.
Yeah, so it's not hard.
Yeah. I don't think French toast is hard either. You just gotta whisk eggs, add milk, plus cinnamon.
This is much harder
What do
than
you
the
mean?
French toastness.
Biscuit? Well, I guess it depends on how you make your pancakes and or waffles, because you could get the Bisquick mix. You gotta measure out the proper amount. Then you gotta, like, add your milk or whatever, stir
You're
that
just
together.
you're adding like invisible nonsense steps to make these two things comparable. The moment you're cracking an egg, you're doing something infinitely more difficult than putting water into pancake batter.
Well, this was gonna be my thing. Is you could just buy the pre-made pancake mix thing that is add water and pour, but not everyone uses that.
Well, but they can, and yes, they do.
No, A, no. B, no. You can't just make grand generalizing sweeping statements. That gets us into a world of hot lobster pot.
Okay, let's get off of breakfast food. You said that you had some topics to talk about. Were those
Wait a
all
minute.
cat
Wait a
related?
minute. Wait a
Yes,
minute.
sir.
Which between pancakes and waffle, which do you prefer?
Oh, basically the same thing you did, which is that pancakes are better, but the average waffle is better.
Oh, okay. Well, then why were you trying to fight about it earlier?
Oh, because you don't put butter on your waffle, so your opinion doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Well, you put butter on yours, so
Yeah, so
it's
I'm
like
right.
yours
Okay,
don't
moving on.
matter either.
And this is
That's so
why you're wrong
quirky.
about half of the movies that you watch.
This is why you're not
Bro,
always right, but sometimes left about your movie takes.
bro doesn't put butter on his movies, so why are we listening to him?
I put butter on my movies all the time. How do you think I get the DVD player to work?
Are you aware of the peanut butter and ketchup strat for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom on the Xbox?
No?
Do you follow any sort of speedrunning stuff?
No?
Okay, so it's something to do with the way the game loads, where if it tries to read a certain area of a disk and can't, then it skips a check for something. So you're trying to play the game as quickly as possible, and you want to get from area A to area B.
Right.
It will stop you on your way to have like a cutscene or something. But if your disc is scratched, then it'll skip it. And I am greatly exaggerating what this actually is. But basically, some people's discs were scratched in such a way that made this part of the game easier.
Okay.
And so, because this is a very old video game and they are bound to get damaged over time, they decided it would be unfair to say that you can't use a scratched disc.
Oh my
And
goodness.
thus, if you are competing and you have a unscratched disc, then you just scratch it. And by scratch it, I mean that what they were doing is they were putting ketchup or peanut butter on it to simulate
That's wild.
the thing. They've since found out that there's easier ways of doing it, and it basically has to do with what kind of hard drive your Xbox has. And so now that's a whole thing.
I feel like
speedrunning specifications can be crazy.
sure. Why not just have two separate tournaments then? Like one for scratch discs, one for unscratched discs.
Because
That
it's
feels
impossible
like
to police. What if you say, I have an unscratched disc, but then it is scratched and someone asks for proof until you pull out your second copy, which is unscratched? Like, a lot of speedrunner stuff won't police things that are impossible to police. I think there's one where there's some game where it's like if you use a rubber band, you can do something. And so
I
people
love
will
doing
use a rubber
something
band on the
illegal.
joystick. Like, oh, if you hold a joystick to the side with a rubber band to let you do this trick.
Oh, sure.
And so it's like, okay, we can either ban them and thus require everyone have a hand cam at all times. And if you don't have a hand cam, then we can't verify your record. Or
Right.
we just allow rubber bands. And so they allow rubber bands.
Yeah. Interesting.
I agree.
This episode's gonna be a real doozy of any kind of connecting thread, because it's basically the inner machinations of my mind. Devon, I, sometimes like to punish myself, and I'll watch YouTube shorts like a fool.
Okay, I recommend, instead of punishing yourself, to find a 9-foot-tall cat lady to punish you instead. That's my recommendation.
That's the dream. So my problem is I started getting Star Wars, various clips from Star Wars, from the cartoon shows, from what I'm assuming is Ahsoka, what is from, I'm assuming, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, from the movies, all right. But mostly like the shows. And from what I can tell, why are the shows ruining the movie?
I'm curious what you mean by that. I have my own thoughts on why the shows are ruining the movies, but I'm curious what you, as a Star Wars light fan, think of the shows.
So, the spoilers, I guess, for these various clips of just Star Wars shows, I guess. But so there's I'm assuming in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are, I don't know, having a confrontation and or fight.
No, Andor's a different show.
Shut the... Anyway, Obi-Wan is like, oh no, you're Anakin, and I pushed you to this. I killed you. And Darth Vader is like, no, I killed Anakin. It was me.
No, I killed Anakin Skywalker, with really long pauses in between. Yes, I recall.
So, like, when I watched the Star Wars movies and whatever, episode 4 or whatever, and Obi-Wan is like, Luke is like, oh, Obi-Wan, you know my father? Yes. Well, what happened? And he's like, he died by Darth Vader's hands. And it's like, whoa, that's crazy. And then you get the reveal and everything, and it's like, whoa, Obi-Wan is like imparting some serious shit onto Luke, and it's and Obi-Wan is smart because he's creating a metaphor that like Darth Vader killed Anakin, but like it's the same person, and like, whoa, Obi-Wan is such a wise, cool character. Oh wait, no he's not. He stole the line from Darth Vader. Darth Vader is good at metaphors and stuff, which tracks. But like, oh.
Yeah, it's making it quite literal.
It's so literal. This one I can speak less about, but like, I don't know if it's Mandalorian or not, but like, baby Grogu is in a hut with Luke, and Luke is like, in his black robes.
You know what's so funny is that's not the Mandalorian.
Well, you know. And
that's Boba Fett, duh.
Obviously. Luke is like, okay, baby Grogu, you can either pick the Mandalorian armor or the lightsaber. You can't have both. You can only have one. If you go pick the armor, you can go be friends with the Fett Man or whatever. But then you can't become a Jedi. And if you pick the lightsaber, you can become a Jedi, but you can't be friends with the Boba Man. And the clip ended there, and I don't know what he picked. And I was like, okay, I guess this is when Luke is a bit more of a hard ass. You know, he's in his black robes, and he's not as naive. But this feels weird, and I don't know why. And then I went into the comments, and people were like, oh, you're telling me Luke let me save my father with the power of love, Skywalker is making someone choose between absolutes, and only Sith deal with absolutes, and blah blah blah, and just roasting, like, essentially a character assassination of Luke in this 30-second clip. And I was like, yeah, that's my problem with Luke in this scene. Of like, yeah, I fight for love and justice, and it's the power of friendship that makes me strong. And in this scene, he's like, yeah, fuck love. I hate that shit. And you should too.
Well, attachments are bad, and this is what the sequels get wrong, which is that it's not, it's the moral of Star Wars isn't that love conquers all. It's that there are multiple kinds of love, and what Anakin was doing to Padme was bad, and what Luke was doing for Vader was good. And so Luke telling Grogu, like, you need to move on beyond the Mandalorian, Din, who's basically like your surrogate father. Like, if you're going to sit here and worry about him, you won't be able to be a Jedi. You won't be able to focus. You'll always be worrying. Like, you need to move on beyond your attachments. That is the Jedi way. That is the only way to use your power for good. And that is correct and moral and the right thing. It's Luke from, like, the further sequels that is uncharacteristic. And yeah, no, that's what happens. Grogu chooses to go back to his dad, so he
I mean, I can't blame
chainmail.
him. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna ask a 4-year-old to become a...
Bro is 51 years old. He's a
okay,
Yoda
he's
species.
functionally
He's 50.
4.
No, he can talk psychically.
No, he
and do
can't.
flips. Yes, he can.
Anyone
Bro's
can
50 years
do
old.
flips.
Anyone can do flips.
There was also a thing where, like, Ahsoka fights Darth Vader, and
Yes.
I don't know, she says something, and Darth Vader is like, oh,
Is this animated or animated?
Live action. And he's like, oh, you're talking absolutes. And she's like, or no, you're talking absolutes. That's not very Jedi of you. And she, like, pulls out her white lightsaber, and she's like, I am no Jedi. And then they fight.
So it's animated.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay, so she fights the real Vader in Rebels, which is animated. But she fights sort of a projection of Anakin / Vader in the live-action Ahsoka show.
Oh, maybe it was the projection.
Her going, I am no Jedi, was from Rebels, because it's like, aha, do you get it? Lord of the Rings? I get it. You got me, Dave Filoni. Haha, Lord of the Rings.
How is that Lord of the Rings?
Has bro seen Lord of the Rings?
You haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
That is correct, but I still know the line. Who kills the demon guy? Who kills Sauron?
Frodo. Well,
no. Who kills
Kinda.
big black spiky armor guy?
Oh, yes, the lady.
And what does she say?
I am no man.
Yes,
But
I am
you
no
can't.
man.
What? That's 4 words. Like, if we change one of 4 words, everything is a reference. I am no pizza. Oh, it says Lord of the Rings reference. Did you get
First
it?
of all,
Because I'm not
yes.
pizza.
What color lightsabers does Ahsoka have?
It was like white.
Right.
Or like,
yeah, because she's Ahsoka the White. Yes, she's died and come back. She's Ahsoka the White.
Sure.
It's Lord of the Rings. It's literally Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's...
Yes. Like, on purpose. That's clearly what Dave Filoni is doing. Ahsoka comes back as Ahsoka the White.
You ever think... I don't know, man. It's cool that people making art are referencing the art that they loved, and, it can kind of...
And that's the only way to do it. Exactly. Oh.
But, like, you can make your own things. You
can't.
Make your own ideas.
Physically impossible.
You can try. You can not intentionally reference something else.
Wrong.
Yes, you can. If I made an original piece of work and you were like, oh,
Impossible.
well, this is just like my the character in my book that you didn't know about. It's like, okay. I didn't know that. I can't...
Star Wars is Buck, Roger, Flash, Gordon, Wizard of Oz in Star Trek land with a cowboy, a samurai, and saving a princess from a dungeon. Like, that's what Star Wars is.
Okay, Grandpa, let's take you back to the nursing home.
Back in my day, Star Wars was the Wizard of Oz. Okay, Grandpa.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know what's like an original, unique thing that exists in somewhat recent years. It doesn't... Things can be original.
Wait. Isn't Avatar just Dances with Wolves? Oh,
yeah. Because they weren't subtle. Five Nights at Freddy's is actually a decent thing. Like, it's ghosts possessing animatronics. No one really did that before Five Nights. Were you gonna hum?
Yeah. I would say it's based on enough sort of legends of Chuck E. Cheese to still have a basis.
But that's real life events of Chuck E. Cheese. That's not referencing the book Chuck E. Cheese where Charles Entertainment Cheese came out and bit a kid.
I mean...
Yeah.
Anyway, no, we're all good. They're putting the Lord of the Rings movies back in theaters in January. I've never seen them, so I'm going to go watch them in theaters.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
It's not the same day, is it?
Oh, no, I think it's probably going to be like one a week.
Okay, good. Unless you had
maybe
9
it's just
hours
Fellowship,
to kill.
but yeah. I did, I watched the Kill Bill double feature a couple weeks ago, and I watched the Wicked double feature a couple weeks before that. I wouldn't mind 9 hours at the theater. I've done it before. The day that I watched Avatar for the first time, me and our friend George went to one movie theater to watch Avatar, and then he had to go home. And I was like, well, SpongeBob also came out today, maybe I'll watch SpongeBob. So I drove to the movie theater that we used to work at, and I watched SpongeBob there. And then I stayed and watched Housemaid, I think it's called.
Oh,
Housekeeper,
sure,
Housemaid,
that
something
new
like that.
movie
With Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched all three. So I watched 3 movies back to back to back, and one of them was Avatar. So I was there for, I think, from like 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. That was about 10 hours. But there was I drove from one theater to another in that time.
And you probably ate something. You went to the bathroom.
No,
yes,
obviously. But yeah,
so it's not like it was 10 hours straight. Great day. Still.
Great day.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had such a great day. And I'm happy for you that it awakened something new inside you didn't quite know about. We're always growing.
Oh, I grew, Eric. Nothing? Okay. Assuming that the videos get out on time, I will have released my Avatar video yesterday. Wow. So you guys can go to my main channel and watch that. And that's why I'm okay with these jokes, because I tell the same joke in that video.
Dang it. But was I being original just then or not? You didn't even publish that video yet. I think I was.
So the video, it's 30 minutes of me unscripted talking about auteurs. Sure. And how, like, the difference between, or like, Cameron and Lucas and how their movies are their own, and contrasting that with, like, the MCU, where there's no singular artist behind anything, and how amazing it is. Like, the Avatar movies are a miracle. These are the most expensive films ever made, and they're the singular vision of one auteur who has such a good, track record of films. There's the guy who made Terminator 2, one of the best movies of all time, given an unlimited budget to do whatever he wanted, and he made his movie. And that is a miracle, regardless of if you happen to like it. Because there's inherent value in it being the work of an auteur. I compare this to, like, I think Nolan and Tarantino are kind of in that conversation as well. And And like, there's some Nolan movies I don't like. I don't really like Interstellar. I don't really like Tenet, but I still think that they're important films. I actually really don't like Oppenheimer. I think Oppenheimer's poorly constructed. But you know, it's what he wanted to make. I think he was misguided for taking something as complicated as a biopic and filming it out of order, sort of like the way that he tells his more trippy sci-fi stories. I think that was a mistake, but I still get it.
Great, great. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
so I end this rant by going like, you know, they said that they're not going to make Avatar 4 or 5 unless this one does really well, and I think that these 3 Avatar movies are a miracle. And so I think it would be a big letdown for all of our culture if they don't make Avatar 4 and 5, and also I want the Ash Navi to step on me, and that's why I end the video.